questions, if I may be allowed to do that.
2 questions pertaining to the procedures we're using tonight?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's your question?
Number one, I'd like to have a 1-minute warning if I go that far. May I have that, please?
All right, Steve, will you give me 1 minute when Mr. Priest has reached the last minute? All right.
Number 2 is a rhetorical question, and that is, why did you allow Dr. Feeser to attack me personally up here? I do take exception to that.
All right, I will ask everybody on both sides again not to attack individuals or those professing whatever idea they profess. Everybody's entitled to their opinion without being attacked for. I think people, for the most part, have been respectful, and but I understand that if somebody has been attacked, that shouldn't go on, and I'll try to be more diligent in calling people if they do something of that nature.
Thank you, sir. I came to you with a simple request over a year ago, and that is for you to clarify that evolutionism would not be immune from scientific criticism. As a math teacher, I try to get my students to look carefully at problems in order to solve them. I do that in math, and I do that in life, with the life problems that my adolescent students have. I try to convey to them to not get locked into one narrow thought pattern without considering all the facts. And I urge you board members to do as my students do, and that is consider the facts. One of you said at the onset of this, and this is several weeks or months ago, as I spoke to each one of you individually, I would not favor this resolution no matter what you told me. I'm so glad my students are not that narrow-minded. Some of you have made this an issue of religion. I want you to listen to this carefully, Mr. and Mrs. Board Member. My church does not have this as a tenet, and my church does not support me in this issue. This is a dogma of the Unitarian Church. They put it in writing. They presented it to you. If you deny support of this resolution, which is non-religious, you support their religion, and that's a fact, and that's unconstitutional. You can eliminate the fix you've gotten yourself into by voting in favor of this resolution. You've slurred Kanawha County teachers by insinuating that some of us are religious fanatics just waiting on you to vote in favor of this resolution. That's a fact. And you can rectify that slur by voting yes for this resolution. If there are any fanatics you know of out there, let's call them out. If you think I'm one of them, call it out. Let's not make accusations. Here's some more facts. I surveyed all the secondary from middle school,
Okay, you have 1 minute, Mr. Priest.
I have 9 minutes on it.
Well, did you get some donated time?
Yes, sir.
It is. It was clipped together.
Okay.
He got 10 minutes.
All right. I'm sorry.
10 minutes. 10
Okay,
minutes.
that's fine. I just wasn't aware of that. Okay, you got it? Okay. All right, go ahead.
Here are some more facts. I surveyed all the secondary science teachers, and overwhelmingly, 81% want a resolution like this. Gallup polls conducted by the citizens of the United States from 1982 to as late as June of '99 show 68% of the American citizens support a resolution like this. The current online Daily Mail internet poll matches the Gallup poll almost to the exact percentage. Your own faculty Senate LSIC comments, which were obviously intended to slant the issue, gave a loud, resounding yes request for you to vote. Now here's some chilling things. One of you said to me, or on a public radio program, that you know that creationism is being taught in Kanawha County schools, and you think it's done on the sly, was the insinuation. Well, here's some facts. There's a Minnesota science teacher with a master's degree in biology who was called before the curriculum committee and demoted to teaching freshman science because they found out he had criticized evolution. I can cite this case. It's currently in the legal system now because he's suing his school board. In the recent American Bar Association Journal, there's a Washington State biology teacher that has been restricted after teaching intelligent design for 12 years. When the ACLU found out about it, he was severely restricted. Locally, the little lady from the ACLU came up to me a few days ago, and she said, "Mr. Priest, I don't have enough love in my heart to speak to you, but I want to tell you this. With her finger in my chest, she said, I'll sue you or any other teacher that dares to teach creation science. Now that's a fact. The vigilantes, a certain group of vigilantes in the Cross Lanes community have made anonymous threats or slurs to my principal through the phone system. That's a fact. There's a high school that banned Dr. Mastropaolo from speaking. That's a fact. A junior high school required him to take Christian students across the street and a long distance down the street so that they could hear what he had to say about science, not the Bible. The rest of these quotes are from atheists, and I would not hesitate to use these in my classroom, and I say that to the ACLU emphatically. The stakes are high in man's attempt to discover and understand his origins, since concepts of human origin influence our view of human nature, which in turn influences social behavior. One of you said the large majority of scientists believe evolutionism. I quote from an atheist, if 50 million people believe in foolish things, it is still foolish. This is from a book called Darwin's Creation Myth by an atheist, and he makes that clear up front. The great majority of professionals will continue, at least in public, to pretend that Darwin's theory of evolution has been verified as true, even if they are consciously aware that that is a lie, and that statement is a fact. Here's from another separate atheist. Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection is crumbling. Another one. Science has spent more than a century pursuing the theory of man's evolution, and the more data that accumulate, the less convincing the theory becomes. Here's a separate one, and this is from a man that did the math, and he is not a Christian or a creationist. It's Sir Fred Hoyle. The general scientific world has been bamboozled, and that's his word, into believing evolution has been proved, and that's a fact. The only way the evolutionist establishment can continue their indoctrination is through censorship and intimidation. I put those facts before you. Adults may make their decisions on who's going to bring the biggest lawsuit. And many of my colleagues, and I can't blame them, will bow to the coercion of the ACLU and its ilk. Maybe the kids of Kanawha County need to take up this battle. Board members, I urge you not to let the kids do what you should do. Stand up to the lies of evolutionism and vote yes for this resolution. And I want to make it clear as I close that I've never called for a ban of the teaching of evolutionism. I strongly believe that scientific evidence presented against it will cause it to fall because it's an eggshell theory. And in closing, I invite all the people that have spoke here tonight in opposition. On Saturday, Dr. Mastropaolo and I are free. We invite you to debate us in a public forum and let us answer your accusations and insinuations when they're made. Thank you.